So to cut the panel that are going to go on the sides, it's going to be a slightly lengthier on the side. So what we're going to do is I'll just give you some measurements on cutting out the side panels on a princess dress. So the length of this piece is approximately 43 inches. Measuring up, and the width of this is about 11 inches. Now on the center of this 11 inches, half of the 11 inches, which is approximately 5 and a little bit, just put a point, and then measuring down from there, if you go across 5 inches, 4.5 inches, 4.5, not 5 inches, 4.5 inches, and measure down approximately 3 inches and put a mark there, and then that point you want to just blend that in with that 3.5 point like an angle, and this is the armhole cut. Okay, so and then you back to the tip. From that tip you're measuring down approximately 9 inches and make a mark on either side, so you know. And then from the fold measure inwards. Now depending on what size you're making, the size that I'm making, I'm going to mark this off 3 inches, and I'm going to measure up 4 inches, and from that 4 inches I'm going to go in 2.5 inches, and then that 2.5 to that point I'm just going to blend them in, and then this one I'm just going to curve that and blend it in with the tip. Okay, so we've got a slightly wider on the bust area and then narrower as we're going on the, so this 3 inches we need to measure down approximately 7 inches and keep that consistent at 3 inches, and then from this point to the bottom we need to do one sort of a angled cornered measurement, and we just need to blend that in to the length point. At this point we're going to make this slightly drooped towards the side, and then we're going back towards the waist where we put the mark. Now if we put the tape measure on the end and measure it 3 inches, and from where we left the armhole, this was the mark, we're going to blend them two in, and then blend this in angled out right towards the bottom area, and that should give you a template or a working pattern for the sides of. I'm going to cut slightly on the outer side of this, because what we can do is always mark, once the seams are done we can mark for the fitting marks later on. And that's the two side panels. Now if we put our dress and the panels together, it should give us an idea of what this will look like. And then we can always make that less as according to our size, and that's the armhole. Now the back, I'm not going to bother putting in. We know that we need it 39 inches in width, but I'm not going to bother cutting into this, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dart it and get the shape from the darting. And from the back we're going to have this a fair bit longer. So we know that the width of this has to be wider. Okay, no, we are going to go for the cut. And the reason why we're going to go for the cut is because we can't get, it's just coming out. I want it as wide as possible. And, mind you,